Hello, Aries. Oh, I'm so happy to be here with you this morning. Oh, the Aries energy is great today, I've got to say. I've been simmering into you guys, and I am so ready for you. So I'm Emma. Hello. This is your May 21 reading. And the way I'm going to roll this out is I have tuned into Aries energy before I sat down and press record. I've been simmering in all that fantastic fire. And I'm also going to pull 3 cards to layer the conversation of what I picked up on my tune in. And towards the end, I'll pull 1 relationship card, sort of centering in on romance for anybody that wants to explore that too. So Aries, oh, I love the energy around you for May. When I was tuned in, it was so light. It was so light. And compared to some of the other energies that I have connected in with, I've done a few other readings prior to this one for the May readings. And I would say that the Aries energy so far is one of the lightest that I feel for the month of May. And the message that I got for you guys was allowing who you've become. So as a theme, May is really centered around allowing who you've become. Now, I feel like many Aries watching this right now have become almost a completely different person in the last year. Now, Aries growth game is fairly awesome. You know, like you guys change quite a lot, quite regularly, and I love that. I'm a Sagittarian and we're not dissimilar in that way. Do you know, like your growth game is pretty strong, and I feel like even for you, Aries, who is fairly well textured anyway, I feel like the last year was incredibly transformative and you are almost a surprise unto yourself. In some ways, we've been able to bring forward in the last year the person you were many years ago. So we've sort of brought through lots of elements of your core sense of self, and they're very present now. But also there are some added surprises to you about who you are and how you feel and what you want. And as you've sort of gone through that becoming, the way you see the world has changed. And it's fairly phenomenal. I do feel a sense of pride in a really positive way with you guys. Like, you're proud of your becoming, you are impressed with your own becoming, you know that something special has taken place. And let me tell you, those kind of transformations that have happened within you, they are almost always for a reason. Do you know, like, whatever you're about to create next, Aries, is going to be phenomenal, because what has taken place within you is going to be used. And I just think that you are about to sort of really move into one of the greatest chapters of your life so far. I just feel so good about it. And I think you guys have got something going on within you that's very powerful. But what I love about this is it also feels very natural. It feels like a natural arriving, a natural becoming. Of course, you put in the work. Of course, you didn't get here through the easy way, right? But it also has taken place and is so natural now inside of you in so many ways. And yet, it feels like internally you felt it, you know it, you can see it, because hey, you lived it, you were here for it. But getting used to bringing this out in the world is just, I think May is really setting a scene for that. The message I wrote down, like I say, I don't know if I've said it already, but let me say, is allowing who you've become. Allowing who you've become, allowing it. I feel like there's going to be a lot of practice in May, a lot of opportunity for you to start saying things in ways you've not said them before, and to start vocalizing these changes, and to start saying, yes, this is what I want. Yes, this is what I'm doing. Yes, this is what I'm going for. Now, what I love about this is it's very high vibe. I don't see you having to fight and defend and refuse and reject and get into all this. No, I don't want that. No, I'm not doing this. No, that's not happening. No, 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 no. Like, I'm not seeing all the no's. I'm seeing you coming into a place of yes, 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 yes. Yes, I'm going to go forward with that opportunity. Yes, I'm taking this in a new direction. Yes, I'm booking that adventure. Yes, I'm going forward with this relationship. And it just feels like you saying a lot out loud of, yes, this is who I've become. Yes, this is what I think. And there's this real confidence developing in you that you are actually allowed to be this. I feel like some people maybe looking at you with the old eyes, right? You know, people that knew you before and are expecting you to be a certain way and expecting you to respond a certain way or include them a certain way or behave a certain way. And you're aware that they're looking at you with old eyes. You're aware that they're wanting you to be somebody that is long gone. And you're standing in front of people and saying, this is who I am now. And there's almost this little niggling, like, am I allowed to be this? Because before I maybe made some questionable life choices, and before people thought I was like this, am I allowed to come out completely different? Am I allowed to be here and be a completely different version of myself? Do I have to perform for these people? Because you are very kind-hearted, you're lovable, you're loving, you're caring, you're thoughtful, you're considerate, you empathize with people. And I think over the past year, at times you've held back expressing the changes that have taken place in you because maybe you didn't want to weird people out. Or maybe you weren't sure how they'd respond to those changes. Or maybe, you were just allowing it to gather steam before you told everybody about this. And I think something's happening in May where you just feel different. And you feel ready to vocalize your becoming. And I think through the vocalizing of that and the vocalizing of, okay, this is who I am now, this is what I believe, this is what I'm seeing. Yes, maybe a year ago it was completely different, but you need to catch up, world. Here I am. And I think through that, you will find that there's a magic happening. The more that you easily and naturally start delivering your truth, the more abundance that is coming for you, the more opportunity, the more money, more adventure, more aliveness, more life. I just feel like you're almost going to feel like every time you deliver this little nugget of truth, that life is somehow rewarding you. And I think the enthusiasm and the excitement for this is going to make you want to keep doing it. And we want that because I feel like the more you're expressing who you've become, and this isn't antagonistic and it's not scary. So if there's something that isn't rolling out your mouth very naturally, don't force it, because it does feel like this stuff is happening quite naturally. It's happening in reflection of your own readiness, right? So as you are doing this and you are rolling it out, you should start to notice that life is responding to you, Aries, and delivering more of what you want. It's really magical. It's really magical. So there is this, it's almost a practice, it's almost a practice and getting in the flow of it and getting used to this becoming your new normal. That's what it is. It's you getting used to this being your new normal. And by the end of May, anything that you've been struggling to express in yourself, I think will feel really normal to say and really normal to do and really normal to feel. And I think the more you do it, the more you suddenly got to say and the more you've suddenly got to express and the more you want. And I think you're going to start off in May really just feeling great about your own becoming and what it is you're bringing to the world. And by the end of May, there's even more. There's more that you want. There's more you're going for. And this is where we take what you've become and through the allowing of it, we open you up to more. And it is really good vibes. So I'm feeling great about that. I think I'm gonna sort of move into layering that conversation with 3 cards. We'll see how we can layer and texture that. But that is quite a powerful theme, getting you in the run. We're putting Aries out in the world, and not in a scary way, just in a way that says, I'm here and this is who I am. And this is normal now. This is starting to feel really normal. I'm actually really happy with who I've become. I'm really confident with it. And I'm not hiding it from the world. These are great cards. These are great. Okay, so we have got the Sun. That's just great vibes for May. You've got a great May coming. We've got the Knight of Pentacles there. And we've got the Queen of Cups. Now, what I love about this is I kind of feel like May is working in your favor, Aries. Like everything's working for you. I feel like, what I said, that abundance, that lightness, that fun, that That idea of the more you express yourself, the more life seems to reward you, the more you own your becoming and what you want, the more you get that, you receive, the more you receive, and the more you receive, the more you ask for. And I just feel like this is one of your lucky months. You know, if you were going to say lucky, I mean, I don't know that I believe in luck, but I definitely believe in the feeling of luckiness and feeling lucky, like the whole world and the whole universe is on my side and the sun shines and it's shining upon me as I walk down the street. And I just feel like the more you express yourself, the more you sort of sink into that place of becoming, the more that you realize you belong. And that you can be this, and you're allowed to be happy, and you're allowed to feel great at who you've become, and you're allowed to feel like you're your best self right now without having to justify the other versions of you that you've been. You're allowed to be this. You're allowed to be this great version of you, and you are so aware that you're just going to keep becoming more and more and more, and you don't have to explain what has already happened. Now that brings us really into our Knight of Pentacles, because the way that he's kind of stopped there, for me, that always feels like this ending before you carry on, like the pause on a journey, like when you take a break and you say, right, we've been on a long journey, we're just going to halt here for a minute, we're just going to take in the view, we're going to have a drink, going to have something to eat before we carry onwards, because where we've been, we're never going back. It's finished. We're not retracing steps. We're not going over things. And I feel like that really ties into you not having to explain who you have been, but putting all that energy in saying, yes, I'm here. Yes, I've become. Yes, this is what we're doing. And it's all very forward focused. I think May is going to really give you that feeling that the past is in the past and the new normal has taken place. The new normal does feel normal. It does feel natural. And I think we're coming to that place where you don't need to explain what road you took to get here. You don't have to explain your becoming. You just say, this is who I am. And there's a lot working for you here to put the past in the past. And for you to not feel like you're not allowed to be the Aries you've become because of who you were before. That feels like a big thing. I am going to just for a couple of seconds, hone in on that. You are allowed to be this. You don't have to justify being what you are now just because you feel that maybe you were less before, okay? Maybe you feel like you made some mistakes, you hurt some feelings, you made some questionable choices, things like that. I think we're all human. We've all got those stories to tell. They are part of the becoming, but you don't need to ask yourself if you're allowed to be happy now, or if you're allowed to be a great person, or if you're allowed to go forward into greatness because of the past though. But in the past, and am I allowed this? Is this okay? Because maybe I wasn't this great before. And you don't need to do that. You don't need to explain it, especially to yourself, but to anybody. You are allowed this. This phase is coming to the end. The past is in the past, and you are going to feel very present, very allowed. You're going to have your own allowing. You are moving forwards. And that really brings us to our Queen of Cups. I just actually had her in the Leo reading. And there is this focus with the Queen of Cups for me this month, which is about focusing on that which you really care about and it is meaningful. You know, with the Queen of Cups here, she knows that, you know, this cup, can you see this cup that she's sort of holding and looking at? She's like, oh, this is mine. This is all mine, and all of this is mine, and I'm allowed to love it. I'm allowed to love who I am. I'm allowed to be a loving queen, and by being a loving queen, that includes loving myself and loving what I have and loving my abundance and loving my becoming and loving where I'm going and loving this whole kingdom. And you in May are really allowed to love who you've become and love the life you're creating and love where you're going. And I feel like there is a call to love it. You're allowed to love this. You're allowed to be excited. You're allowed to have fun. You're allowed to feel the joys of what's happening to you without any guilt or remorse for not having it before, for not being this before. All that matters is that you're here now, that you are here now and you're ready now to live this to the fullest. And everything here, I mean, those are really beautiful cards, Aries. Everything here is really supportive of that. It's really supportive of that. You know, these are beautiful. This looks beautiful. I just feel like you should feel like the sun is shining upon you and you are really allowed to be this. You're allowed to live this and you're allowed to love it and care for it and be here for it. And I feel like by the end of May, that's really going to start feeling like the new normal for you. How beautiful is that? That feels so magical. I love that. So with that in mind, let's now have a dip into, you know, themes of romance and relationship there for May. Oh, I love this. We've got the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is such a happy card. Do you know, like, it's such a happy card for me. Now, I'm an intuitive reader rather than like a card meaning reader. So when I look at this, I mean, we know, I'm sure many of you have heard that idea of stop and smell the roses is one of the meanings associated with this card. And I kind of feel like you're allowed to enjoy the feelings of love in May. You're allowed to be in love. You're allowed to fall in love. You're allowed to be smitten with someone. You know, whether you're in union and you're just actually now giving yourself permission for this. You are allowed to love and be loved. You're allowed to enjoy them. You're allowed to do that. And you do not need to perform or self-sacrifice or hold yourself back because maybe in the past you felt like you weren't deserving of love or you hadn't been loving enough with someone else. You know, like this, maybe if you haven't felt like you've been perfect in love in the past, and now May is really introducing you to the idea that that doesn't matter, that there is only now. And if you're enjoying it now, you're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to enjoy it. And if you're single and you're moving into new experiences, maybe you're just going out dating, or you're waiting for somebody that you're excited about, or you are, you know, already seeing somebody and it's on the way to something, you're allowed to enjoy it. You're allowed to enjoy it without all the fuss and the bother. And I know that sometimes when you've been really knotted up and said, oh my God, I've had so much stress in relationships, I've made it so stressful, I've got all these issues, you can just abandon them now. Do you know, like, just because you've been like really wrapped up in the story that, you know, maybe you've got trust issues, or maybe you've been burned, or maybe you've had commitment issues, or whatever your particular flavor of issue is, you're allowed to say, but you know what? I don't want to take it with me right now. It might pop up again in a month or in 6 months, but right now I just want to have fun. And I think this card, if you are single, this card is really encouraging things to be playful, to not bring the past into this. You yourself know that you're so ready to let go of the past. And you yourself, Aries, do not want to be judged on the past. So if you don't want to be judged on the past, then we're really encouraging this idea of not holding someone else to the past, to their past, but also not holding your new relationship experiences to the old stories standard. And just really practicing allowing go. If you don't want to be judged by the past, then can you allow new relationships to not be judged by the past? And can you allow the other to not be judged on their past? Can everybody allow this new beginning, because the new beginnings are so much fun? And I think this could apply even in union. Like if you are in a relationship right now, are you able to just draw a line under the past? If you're choosing to stay with this person, right, if the past has been so intense that you've just got rid of them, then this is not applicable, right? You're back in the single pile. But if you've actually chosen to go forward into further life experience, you've said, I want more of them. How willing are you to let go of the past? Because if you can let go of the past here, it may be that you can actually have fun. This can be enjoyable, it can be new, it can be exciting, and that you can find ways to reconnect and define new connection with your partner, and to actually just enjoy it. Maybe it's just about putting the last year to rest and saying, you know what, we can't change what's happened, but I'm so exhausted of relationships being hard work. I just want to have fun and I just want to enjoy it. So, you know, we've got quite a lot there about the idea of you being allowed to be happy now, you not holding yourself hostage to your past relationships, And that's regardless of whether you're in relationship or single. I see people, that do hold themselves hostage. They're so in love with someone, but they can't quite let go because they disappointed people in the past, and they're not sure they're allowed to be a good person this time. I was not very well behaved in the last one. Am I allowed to be good in this one? Am I allowed to be amazed and happy and dazzled? Am I allowed this happiness when I've wounded others in the past? But also that idea of learning when to let shit go. Because you've had a really big year and you really deserve just to enjoy it all now. And that is whether you're single or in relationship. It's just calling for how much of the past can you leave in the past, and how much can you enjoy now. Because we know you want to have fun in these relationship experiences. We know that you want to feel excited and inspired and enthusiastic and cared for and giggly and sexy and connective and awesome. And we know that you want that, but it may be that May is asking you, occasionally to not judge yourself, the other, or relationships by past experience. Okay, so you've got a really big month ahead, but at the same time, it's really light. It's really light. The energy is very light. It's very relaxed. It's very playful, and it's all inviting you to step into the present as the Aries you've become, and just allowing life to reflect that back to you and celebrate your own becoming. You are allowed to be this, and you're allowed to be happy, and you're allowed to be excited about your future again. You are allowed, Aries. Welcome. Welcome to your allowing. Now, if you want to have a one-to-one with me, you can book in through my website. I'll pop the link in the description box. You can also join me on my Patreon. It's a brand new community, so it's still blossoming, but we are having lots of fun over there. I'm doing daily readings and a couple of videos a week, and it's all good fun. It's playful. It's together. It's communal. It's fantastic. I'd love to have you with us. But if not, I'll see you again next month, and we'll do this all again for the June readings. Have a wonderful May. I look forward to talking to you soon, Aries. Bye.